大家好. Hello everyone. Welcome to another lesson of beginner conversational Chinese. Today we'll talk about numbers. As we all know, numbers are super useful to know in a language, and it's very simple in Chinese. With only 15 words, we'll be able to count to millions. Now let's get started. So we'll learn first 1 through 3, and it's E for 1, E. And then 2 is R. It's similar to the English R, the letter R, but it's a little different. R. 三. So 1 through 3 is 1, 2, 3. Notice how the characters for these three numbers are also super easy. 4 is 4. So this vowel is a little interesting because it doesn't exist in English. 4. So 4 is an unlucky number in Chinese and in a lot of Eastern Asian cultures because it sounds like the word for to die or death, which is 死. So it's a slightly different tone, but they sound really similar. 4. 5 is 5. And then 6 is 6. Sounds like the horoscope Leo, Leo, right? Okay, so 4 through 6 is 4, 5, 6. 7 through 10, 7, 7. 8, 8. 8 is a lucky number in Chinese culture because it sounds like the word 发, which means to make a fortune. Next one, 9. 9 for 9. And then 10 for 10. Now let's say them together. 7, 8, 9, 10. So before we move on to larger numbers, let's review 1 through 10. So the word for 1 is 1, 很好. And then, R, and 3, and 4, 5, 6 for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. So let's do a quick quiz. You can close your eyes if you really want to challenge yourself. I'll say a number in English and you tell me how to say it in Mandarin. 3. Yep, it's 3, 9. 9, 很好, very good. Number 2. R, yep. What's the unlucky number in Chinese? Yep, it's 4, number 4. What's a lucky number in Chinese? 8 for number 8. 很好, very good. So 11 through 19, unlike in English and a lot of Latin-based languages, you have to learn a new set of words. In Chinese, there's no need. We can just combine 10 and another digit to form these numbers. For example, the word 11 is 10 plus 1, so you would just say 10 and 1, which is 11. For number 12, it's 10 plus 2, so it would be 12. Let's take a look at all these numbers together. So 11, as we just went over, 11. So 12 would be 12. And 13, 10 plus 3, 13. 14, 10 plus 4, 14. 15 is 15. 16, 16. 17, 17. 18, 18. And then 19, 19. Very good. Let's do another quick quiz. How would we say 15? 15, 很好. Now I'm going to say a number in Chinese for you to translate into English. 13. If you said 13, then you got it right. 17. That's 17. 很好, very good. Last one. 16. 16. Did you get them all right? Okay, let's move on to the next one, 20 through 99. We also don't need any new words for them. So the word 20 is 2 times 10, so you just need to say 210. 20. Pretty simple, huh? And the word 21 is 2 times 10 plus 1, so it's 21. So we apply the same rule to all the other numbers. 30 would be 3 times 10, 30. 62, 6 times 10 plus 2, 62. Okay, so again, I'm going to say a number in English. You can keep your eyes open if you don't have all the numbers down yet. Otherwise, you can close your eyes for an extra challenge. 58. 58. 很好, very good. 5, 10 plus 8, yeah? 23. 2 times 10 plus 3, 23. Next one, 67. It's 6 times 10 plus 7, right? So 67. 14. This one should be easier, just 10 plus 4, 14. Now I'm going to say some numbers in Chinese for you to translate into English. 80, 80, which is 8 times 10, which is 80. Did you get it right? Next one, 92, 92. 9 times 10 plus 2, which is 92. Next one, 35, 35. 3 times 10 plus 5 is 35, yeah? Next one, 74, 74. 7 times 10 plus 4, which is 74. Did you get them all right? Okay, let's move on to some even bigger numbers. So in order to say the numbers in the hundreds, we need the word 0, which is 0, 0. The next one is 百, 百 is 100. And then we have a special word for 2, 两, 两. And I will show you how it works in the next slide. So 0 for 0, 百 for 100, 两, which is a special 2, a little different from R, which is a regular 2. Okay, so 100 is 1 times 100, so it's just 100, 100. Now to say 101, that's where the word 0 comes in handy, because you don't say 101, you say 101. You say the 0 in the middle, so it becomes 101, 101. And next one, 111, so it's 100 plus 11, 10 plus 1, so it's 111, 111. And we can use the same rules for all the other numbers in the hundreds. We'll practice them in a bit. For 200s, we typically say 200. Remember the special 2, 2. 200 sounds better than 200. It's just an idiomatic thing that we do in Chinese. 200 versus 200. There's a special number in Chinese, 250, which in order to say the number, the most natural way would be 200, 2 times 100, plus 5 times 10, 250, 250. If instead of 两, you are sticking to a traditional R, 250 would also work. But sometimes, if there's a 0 at the end, a casual way to say it would be 250. You can use it for other numbers. For example, if it's 350, you could totally say 350, and that's totally fine. But if this confuses you, don't worry about it. But 250 is actually a phrase in Chinese, and it means a silly and crazy person. So it's an insult. So you might want to be careful with saying 250 as 250. You might want to stick to 250. Okay, so let's practice the numbers in the hundreds. So again, I'm going to say some numbers in English and have you translate them into Chinese. If you want an extra challenge, you may close your eyes. Okay, 119, 119. 119. So it's 100 plus 10 plus 9, right? So it's 119. 很好. Next one, 376. 376. So it's 307 times 10 plus 6, right? So it's 376. 376. The next one is 542. 542. Yep, so it's 542. 542. Now I'm going to say some numbers in Chinese and have you translate them into English. 223. 223. So 200 is 200. Remember the special word for 2? 2. 23. 2 times 10 plus 3. So it's 223. Next one. 485. 485. 485. 603. 603. That's 603. Did you get them all right? No worries if numbers are a little challenging because they're supposed to be, and we'll practice more. So if those numbers aren't challenging enough for you, let's move on to thousands and 10,000s. The word for thousand is 千. 千. And we have a word for 10,000. We don't just say 10,000. We say 1. 1. I will show you how these work. So basically it follows the same rules as before. 1,000 would be 1 and 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,001, you would require to say just 1 0. You don't have to say the 2 zeros in there. So it would be 1,001. 1,001. 1,011, there's still 1 0 in the middle, so you still have to say it. 1,011. So we apply the same rules to all the other numbers in the thousands. And just like numbers in 200s, for 2000s, we also use 2,000. It sounds just more natural and better than 2,000. Now let's practice. So I have this number, 4,375. Can you figure out how to say it in Chinese? If you just said 4,375, then congrats, you got it right. Next one, 2,103. Yep, it's 2,103. 很好, very good. Last one, 1,068. So that one is 1,068. Did you get them right? Okay, so let's move on to tens of thousands. 10,000, we don't say 10,000. Again, we have a word for it. It's just 10,000, which is 1,000. 1,000. So for 10,001, because there's zeros in the middle, so you have to say 0. So it's 1,001. 1,001. 10,011, 1,011. 10,100, 1,100. 1,100. Again, we apply the same rules to the other numbers in the tens of thousands. For 20,000, we use 2,1 instead of R1. So 2,1 is 2,1. Sounds more natural. Okay, let's practice. How would we say 42,375? So again, remember, we have a word for 10,000. So it should be 42,375. Did you get that right? 4万 for 40,000, 2,000 for 2,000, 300, 375, 75. Now let's do another one. 25,103. So that one is 25,103. Did you get it right? 25,103. Let's do one more. 20,689. So this one again, it's 20,689. For the thousands, we have a zero, so you have to say the zero. 20,689. You might be tempted to say 20,000, 20,000, but we don't say it. You have to say 10,000, 2,000. Okay, so if these are all not challenging enough for you, let's move on to even bigger numbers in the hundreds of thousands. So the word for 100,000 is 10 times 10,000. I hope your head isn't spinning. Basically, the division of numbers is a little different in Chinese, right? So it's a little hard to wrap your head around it, but once you practice more, you'll get a hang of it. So 100,000 is 10,000, 10,000. 100,001 is 10,001. So even though there's a bunch of zeros in the middle, we just have to say it once. 100,011, 10,011. 100,100, 10,100. So again, the same rules apply to all these other numbers in this range. Okay, so for 200,000, do we say 200,000? We actually don't, because 20, we don't change 20. 20 is fixed, so you would say 20,000. That's the only way to say 200,000 and all these other numbers in that range. 20,000. Okay, let's try practicing these numbers. How would we say 142,375? So it's 14,275. Now I know it's tough, but you have to think of it as 14 10,000. So 14,000. And then 2,000 instead of 2,000. Now next one, 206,908. So this one, you don't say 2 anymore, you just say 20,6,908. If these numbers aren't challenging enough, now let's move into the millions. So to say 1 million, we say 110,000, which is 100,000. And all the rules that we've been going over still apply. For 2 million, we say 200,000. It sounds better than saying 200,000. Now are you ready to say a number in the millions? Okay, how would you say this number? 2,846,379. So if you're still with me, the answer is 284,6379. Did you get it right? Okay, if this is still not challenging enough for you, let's move on to 10 million and beyond. The word for 10 million is 1,000, 10,000. So you would have to say 1,000,000. 1,000,000. So for 20 million, you would say 2,000,000 versus 2,000,000. Now you ready for a number in this range? How would you say 12,846,379? So the answer should be 12846379。12846379。Don't worry if this is super confusing. It's actually a little hard for me as a native speaker to say these big numbers as well. So don't feel bad. Okay, so we're gonna practice. Don't worry, the practice will involve smaller numbers too, so it's not just huge numbers. Now, do you remember how to say 28? Yep, it's 2 times 10 plus 8. 28. 很好. What about 47? 47. 很好, very good. 15. 15. So I said it in Chinese. Did you translate it into 15? Yep. Next one is 658. 658. 658. So the next one I'll say in Chinese again. 9036. 9036. So it's 9,036. Did you get it right? Next one is 20,147. It's 20,147. Did you get it right? Next one, 281,396. 28,1396. 28,1396. Okay, let's try two more numbers. 2,537,148. So if you got 253,7148, then you are really good. That's the right answer. Okay, last one. 29,146,385. So that one is 2,914,6385. If you got all these numbers right, then I'm really, really impressed. If you find these challenging, especially with the bigger numbers, don't worry. Practice makes perfect. And after this lesson, I encourage you to practice every time you come across a number. Try to convert it into Chinese, and soon you'll get better. 谢谢你. Thank you so much for being with me for this lesson. 再见. I'll see you in the next lesson.